All right.
All right. Thank you, Aaron. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all very much for being here. My name is Dan Feinberg. I am Interim Director of SUNY Online, and it is truly my pleasure to welcome you to today's Open Education Week webinar, kicking off Open Education Week. We are pleased to host Val Chukhlomin from Empire State University to share about using generative AI for developing and updating Coursera courses. I've seen these courses. They are amazing. Pedagogically, they've been taken by thousands, tens of thousands of students around the world. I'm really excited to see more about this and to see Val share this with you. Val is a full professor and academic coordinator of online studies at Empire State University. He has spent more than 30 years teaching business, economics, and management topics in Russia, Australia, and since 2006 in the US. His areas of specialization include career self-management, international cross-cultural management, and large-scale online learning environments. Val has spent the last 10 years heavily involved in designing and producing Coursera MOOCs, some of the most popular MOOCs in all of SUNY. In 2020, Val received the SUNY Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Scholarship and Creative Activities. Val is currently very active in researching and promoting pedagogically effective applications of generative AI. Welcome, Val.
Thank you, Dan, for this presentation, and hello, everyone. I'm glad that we started this another Open Education Week, and it's very exciting to be the first one. So let's go to business, and I'll try now to share my screen and see how it goes. And you tell me what you see on your screen.
So we're seeing your presentation. It's just not in presentation mode.
Okay, so
small.
okay, so let's start slideshow, display settings. Okay, should be full
There
screen.
you go. Looks great.
Okay, it works. Okay, fantastic. So the topic is revising Coursera courses with generative AI. And basically, last year, for all of us involved in AI was absolutely crazy. And now we are in another crazy year. And at some point, I realized that we really need to start mapping our journey. So my presentation is basically about the learning that happened during first 6 months of last year, and then during summer. I implemented some of it in Coursera courses, and then had some time to see how it was received by students and prepare for the next phase. So basically, it's more about AI than Coursera, but I will have to provide some information about Coursera as a context. And what is happening with starting to reflect on AI, I realized that it's not only changing the way we see the world, the way we interact with students, also we change the way how we see ourselves. And this is a nice example here. You see, probably my picture of 20 years ago when I had a little more hair. But I ran it some time ago. I ran it through Midjourney and through 11 Labs, got a voice for it. And now, oftentimes, like last week, when I had a conflict of time and I was not able to present in New York City Summit, I sent my avatar to do the talking for me. And when hearing this person, artificial talking, I was not sure if me or someone else. So very interesting feeling, like split personality. And so going back to what happened in the first 6 months of last year, of course, it all started with ChatGPT. In November, I think I was one of the first, on December 1st of 2022, when I got access to ChatGPT, started playing with it, and 1 week after that, I started to bombard my university president and vice presidents, telling them, oh, this is huge, this is happening, we need to do something about it. And In addition to ChatGPT, there was a huge wave on other generators. So I got access to Midjourney in January. It was not first Midjourney, but I think it was Midjourney number 4, first professional grade image generator. And then, as I mentioned, 11 Labs, where you can synthesize your voice, and DID, where you can synthesize your image and make all this synchronization of movements and lips. And on the right, on the slide, you see my avatar. I created it exactly 1 year ago and taught it to say things I cannot say to my president. So this is sitting now on my YouTube channel and pitching for a lab, because we need some money from the university for faculty to start playing with this kind of stuff. We cannot put like officially on our website. During this process and working with students in courses, I started to think about working in a really playground. And in my case, because I have access to Coursera, I develop courses on Coursera, I made Coursera my playground. So a little more about it. I'm sure all of you know about Coursera. It's 12 years old now getting huge, but still feels like very new program and development, because they're very, very active in all innovation space. So they keep developing fast, and they're still selective, not easy to get on Coursera for institutions. I'm glad that SUNY joined Coursera 11 years ago, and I was one of the first who got ITG grants to develop programs. At the time, not programs, just courses for Coursera. And after that, 2 years after that, I was able to lead the effort of a big team, 10 people, to develop this relatively large project on Coursera. It consists of 4 courses called Career Self-Management, now Training and Certification. This is advanced level career development course. Most of students in this course have 2 degrees, master and bachelor. So really advanced level career services for students, very well enrolled, well received. 2 times we were shortlisted for Nurturing Employability Award in global competition of projects. And sometime down the road, I was able to develop 1 more course. This is a lot of low cost and free educational resources built around my application for skills management. Also well received as a standing alone course, but also all the stuff is used in other places, including our university. So now going back to problem. With 5 active courses, lots of enrollments, lots of good reviews, there's a problem. What to do next? All these courses, they are very expensive in production. Probably would have done it a little cheaper, but we got money from Coursera, and Coursera wanted us to do it their way. So this is like movie production. For this specialization, we needed to produce with studio quality more than maybe 160 or 70 instructional videos and a lot of materials. To do this, I even took a course for movie production, because there was some kind of works I couldn't even imagine how many editors you need to do this work. Now we do have small income stream from Coursera, but it is good to do some maintenance, a little maintenance, but there is no way even to actually get a major revision of any of the courses. So what's to do next? I was at the tipping point. Last year, I shut down two of my courses, and this is project with 5 courses. This is all I left. So I was actually thinking of shutting down the entire project this year. And then we got artificial intelligence. And my first idea was what I can do with artificial intelligence. Can we use it? I was thinking maybe I will use last summer to update one of the courses and learn how to do it with artificial intelligence. And also I was thinking, maybe we can develop some capabilities, some new skills. Actually, I can tell you what happened. In 3 months, we were able to revise 3 courses. Not fully revised, but significantly revised. And by we, I mean myself and Alina Rodik, instructional designer, who helped me with this project. So this is very significant development. So probably I will try to continue this work. So in terms of artificial intelligence used, there are several course development activities that are extremely labor intensive, like getting new learning materials. And with tools like Consensus, Elicit, and now many more, you can actually very easily to get through recent developments, identify the most important papers, go through them, and prepare summarization and learning materials. Before, it would take me like long weeks and many weeks. Now, with the first course, I was able to do it in less than a week. And with the third course, I was able to do it like in a couple of days, like single-handedly, just one person. The other is just example, learning objectives. When I developed traditional course in my university, I probably use like 5 learning objectives, and implicitly I have like lower level learning objectives. But with Coursera, they want you to go step by step. You have 5 learning objectives for the course, and then you have 5 models, 5 learning objectives for each model. Then you have 5 lessons in each model. You specifically put their learning objectives and go through every learning object. So each course will have a tree of learning objectives, maybe 200 of them. It's not rocket science, but very tedious work. And I was like hesitant working on this, but with ChatGPT and derivatives like ChatPDF, where you can talk to PDF files, I figured out how to do it maybe one day per course. The other thing is, again, quizzes and video questions. Again, on Coursera, they want in-video questions in each of the videos. And again, you need to watch it, and it's very tedious, very labor and time-consuming work. For someone like myself, I do not have teaching assistants. But now with new technology, when you can talk to YouTube videos or like any videos and can ask to divide into pieces and come up with questions, you only need to go through questions already prepared for you. So again, this is a very huge development, of course, and I'll talk about video production a little later, because video production for Coursera is like a movie. So you have text and you create script and you find actors, people who will act, faculty or not necessarily faculty, like in my case. And sometimes I use actors and voices differently. So one person is acting, another person I use voice, because sometimes I don't like this voice. I need another one. So I did this before. And again, you have to pay for this. And the images, going all the stock videos, buying them, purchasing music, creating videos and doing videography. This is a lot of work. And now with AI tools, you can like skip it. Not exactly, but get AI doing some of it. So this is just illustration of what I was talking about. And actually, this was with learning objectives. This was my first exercise. I took my 5 learning objectives from before and I created maybe 150 in a couple of days. And then when I was working on third course, I did it in a matter of like maybe hour. And this is Consensus, my really big help with this project. And Elicit, now I think I use maybe 10 different AI tools for research. And building and managing superior skills is the first course we started to work on. What is also interesting, when I learned some stuff by myself, I realized maybe this is the best thing I can share with my students. I should tell them exactly what my experience was with ChatGPT, and probably the employers want them to learn about it. So I started documenting it and putting in the courses as like readings. CDL workout, this is how we call it, Career Development Lab. So Career Development Lab workouts. And this was workout how use ChatGPT for skills assessment. So I found some resources put there, and actually this is well received by students in the course. The other thing is, first I needed to understand it for myself. And if you remember 1 year ago, this was all about prompt engineering. It's still the case, but 1 year ago, we started talking about prompt engineering, structured prompt, and magic formulas for prompt. And I needed to explain it to myself. And at the same time, I started to use it and explain it to students, because prompt engineering is a very necessary skill for the future. So this picture I used, you remember on the left, this poor Captain, I think Dallas from the Alien. You remember he went to special room, the only one on the crew who was allowed to talk to the mother, big computer system. And he was very constrained in these conversations. And now if you look on this right side, this is mighty prompt engineer that can use different systems. Like you got ChatGPT, today we got Claude 3. I was tasting just before we started this conversation. So you use different systems and use structured prompt engineering to get the results, so you become master of the machine. And I use it again as a learning resource in the course discussion, how to analyze any skill in prompt engineering era. Also very well received by students. Now let me jump to video production. Again, I mentioned before, this was a whole enterprise of making videos. And if you look on the left, this is Amy Giaculli, our assessment officer. She, in my Coursera production, she is my face and my voice. Because I don't know, somehow I hate how I sound, and I wanted to have someone nice looking and talking. And the idea was, and it worked beautifully, she is an adult learner. I taught her. And then I wanted her to teach other people to explain what she learned. And it worked beautifully in all courses. But again, it was not just between me and Amy. And I need a whole bunch of people helping us with video production, editing, video editing, instructional design, and everything else. So for this new movie production, I didn't have this chance to film Amy. I didn't have team, I didn't have lab, so we lost this in the years. So I asked Amy to come, sit, and join me, and I wanted to clone her. So on the right, you see Emily. Emily is an Amy clone. So we use Midjourney, 11 Labs, and DID, as I mentioned, HeyGen, and a lot of ChatGPT. I also wanted her to sound exactly as she sounded before. So like computer-generated Emily should sound very close to Amy. And we used in the newly revised course, we use this interchangeably. So old video just refreshed, Amy talking, and then new Emily appearing on the side saying, okay, I am computer-generated Amy, and this is new stuff. That's how we used consensus and how you can use it for career development. And this is new video. I was not sure if I can do with all videos, and it was not enough time and money for this, but actually we did several clips like that, and they are now available on YouTube. So both of these videos are available on my channel in YouTube. So I use it for my presentation, so you can compare them side by side. And the result is the student actually accepted it very well. I was not sure if they would want to watch this, but actually they accepted it very well. And this is some of the first results. So we finished the work in August, started new series of courses, and you see in the archived version, we got 20,000 students in 7 years. In the new version, a few months, we got 6,000. Completion rate is much higher, and students rated very highly and provided their comments, just fresh comments, in October, August of last year. So it did work well. But still, we have surveys and courses, we have Coursera analytics. We do not interact with students directly. We just see what is happening there. So this is about our little experiment. We finished it in August. Now see what is happening, and now I'm preparing for new phase. I have new ideas. So this slide about new horizons, what is going to happen, I think, in the future. Coursera is not staying in one place. I saw demonstrations, how they created the builder. So they help AI-driven for course developers, and basically they're using mostly the same tools that I used in a more structured way. If you are not very well proficient with all new tools, probably it will be better to use Coursera Builder. But this is what is coming, and I think I saw already stuff on Blackboard, and I think Brightspace will be going there. If not, they will be just forced to do the same. So all major LMS will get the AI builders in some degree very soon. Also, I saw demonstration of Coursera Coach, and this is chatbot, which is trained on specific course materials. So instead, in addition to talking to other students in these discussions that many of us hate, the students now can talk with chatbots regarding learning objects in the course. And for example, if it's like difficult course, they can ask, okay, I don't understand this, explain me if I'm like 15 years old, or have other conversations. It's already happening in some courses in Coursera. And I think very soon we will be able to add larger knowledge bases to all courses, not just textbooks, but lots of other courses, and get this chatbot to be knowledgeable about it. There will be no room for hallucinations. I think this will be more or less accurate. I don't think that this will replace teachers, but in Coursera courses, we don't have teachers. So it's so much better to have a specially trained chatbot. Also, what will happen is there is already technology in place, so you can actually, instead of the typing old style, like an Aliens movie typing style, you will be able to interact with Emily in my course. She will develop presentation, and then you can chat with her. And she will respond just being a chatbot. And early research, not my research, but other people's research showing that actually there is very powerful effect on learners, where they can actually continue chatting with lifelike person. What we see now in Sora and other projects, what just happened in last month and this month, it looks like 2024 is going to be a year of video, and probably we will be able to generate training video very easily with some prompting. I don't know how this will be working, but I'm very much interested to look at this. Course updating by self-guided agents. Okay, the kind of work I explained that I did, it also can be automated. So next time I'm working on course, probably I will have my automated agent to do all this development, pieces of development by itself. And maybe I can train agent to go through consensus and other stuff to look for new papers. So I do not need to go through papers by myself, just published. So this can be all included into the course without me doing this kind of work. So what else? For my next course, I'm thinking about custom GPTs. If you know custom GPTs, this is a relatively new functionality where you can create your own version of ChatGPT trained on your materials. And on the slide, I have lots of them. If you have questions, I can explain. But in the college, in university, I had another hour just talking about this because we started using them in courses. I need to get permission from Coursera to make every student in my course to have ChatGPT Plus or comparable tool as like prerequisite for this. What else? A few more slides and I will finish my talk. Because it's just reflection talk, I think a lot about AI skills that instructional designers, educational technologists, and faculty will need in the future. And I'm mapping. What I do, I try sometime mapping of my skills that I have or I do not have for the future. And this is another project that I got. It's called Faculty AI Skills Report Card. So this is my map. I decided to put everything I know about AI, the skills I have, and some skills I do not have. And probably I need to get the skills. And this is useful for me to think about what should be done in the future to keep pace. And as another exercise in GPT production, I actually built GPT for any faculty. If you have ChatGPT Plus subscription, you can get access and enter your CV and talk to the system, and it will produce for you something like this. So there is a link, and I can put it in chat if anyone is interested. So, okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Val. And we can also have your slides afterwards. Would that be okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then folks can go into the links that you have a lot of embedded videos and so forth in there.
Yeah, yes. I think I can find links, but also all these videos, they are available on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
YouTube channel. I will type it.
Okay.
Channel. It's called Vulch 18. So.
Thank you. So there's so much for us to think about with this technology. And I really appreciate how you've reflected on this and also looking at your skill set. That's kind of a neat way to approach thinking about what we already know and what skills we might need to develop. Are there questions for Val from anyone here? You can unmute yourself. You can type in the chat, whatever you prefer. And Dan, I don't know if you had any thoughts listening as well.
Thanks, Aaron. It's pretty amazing what you're able to do, Val. I'm inspired to go out and create my own GPT now. I want to play with that.
By the way, yesterday, if you have Copilot Pro, Microsoft introduced their own version of GPTs. But everywhere, it's ticket is $20 a month. So you pay ChatGPT plus $20, you Copilot $20, Anthropic 20, Perplexity everywhere. This is one other thing I didn't mention, but it cost me, I don't know, several hundred out of pocket every month. And I think the moment my wife learns about this, it will be like my last AI month.
I see we have a question in the chat and then 2 hands are raised. So on my screen, I have Matt first. Would you like to ask?
Absolutely. I jump for joy every time there's a conversation about AI because I want to convince our faculty as well to get in and play and check it out and how to approach it, how to bring it into their curriculum, because you were talking about prompt engineering, and I think it's kind of doing a disservice not to discuss AI at this point and how to prompt engineer, because it's going to be applicable in different courses and different fields of study. And to leave that out is not preparing students for the future. It's just, how do we stay not necessarily ahead, because we can't be ahead, but how do we keep up with technology, with AI, when things change? Google Bard becomes Google Gemini, Microsoft and the Copilot. I know that there's different licensing. There's free Copilot integration. I played with Power BI a little bit, and like, you can type in what you want for data and it will come up with a query. Now, I'm not the best with data analytics, but I like to play. So I would ask it and see what it could do. And then I can actually upskill myself and learn from it as well, kind of like having a built-in chatbot. But before I go off on a tangent, how do we really keep up with it when things are changing so fast? How do we encourage faculty to play with it when they also have limited time? I'm doing 5 things while I'm also listening. They do the same thing. It just feels like it's a snowball rolling down a mountain and it's getting bigger and bigger. Um, do you feel that same way, or how do we keep up?
Same here. My life changed exactly on December 1st in 2002. And since then, I spent at least 1 hour, sometimes 3 hours. And if I don't work in this area, this is just ballpark. No weekends, no Sundays, all this time. And I don't know how many hundreds of hours now I invested into this. And I don't know, this depends on like personality. I can understand that people will like trying to reject it because this is another thing. And I can give my personal example. For years, I was refusing to use Apple stuff because I knew the moment I'll get iPhone, I will need to get everything else and spend a lot of time. And this is exactly what happened. So the only thing is you will have to convince yourself that you will have to spend time on this, some money, and maybe find interest. I have 2 children and 4 grandkids. I develop project for every one of them in AI. So with the youngest one, we use SUNY AI and we create music and we share it.
It's awesome.
So this is one project. She's learning and I'm learning about music because I don't understand. It completely blew me away when I saw or heard this first time. And with another one, I play chess and we do chess AI. So just find a room in your life. And this is about yourself. About your colleagues, I saw some research talking about 70% of faculty trying only ChatGPT free, which is basically not crap, but it's very unintelligent version of AI. And people are, of course, afraid of become redundant, but I don't know, maybe this feeling of fear of being redundant can push people to start using it. And this is about faculty, not talking about administrators, which is completely different conversation, and not talking about students, which is again, completely different world. So I didn't talk much about students today. It's completely different area.
I was just going to say, I don't think Apple has even released a public statement about their adoption of AI yet. Although Google and Microsoft are very forward about it, I think Apple's still doing something behind the scenes before. I don't know if they're having trouble keeping up as well, or the theory is that they have something
They come with Siri that you will change the face, voice, and she will be clever, like, I don't know, next door neighbor or better.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. I see another question. Gregory?
Dr. Vail, thank you for your presentation. I'm kind of a newbie into this world, and I teach online courses. And I was wondering if you had any advice about how to become more versed in this, and what path to take.
For me, the best teacher, like I have two kinds of teacher for myself. I use Facebook books and LinkedIn groups, and there are many of them, and some are for newbies and some for like intermediate, and also you'll find kind of people you're close to and they share advice. So this is what I do every day, like 3 times a day, check the groups. And my best teacher is YouTube University. And again, there are hundreds and hundreds of people now explaining the world what they learned. And this is the best to keep up. So if you type YouTube and something, whatever you want to know, you will find these videos, and very soon you will develop your own repository. And the other thing is just practice, because I think why faculty needs to practice more. If they don't do this, they won't be able to recognize AI assisting work by students. You probably know already that there is no good strategy for detectors, because for every detector there is anti-detector. So basically, good quality AI work is not detectable. But again, most students are not there yet. They keep submitting work without much thinking. So it's good to have kind of understanding how AI work looks like. And with my experience, I can certainly tell, okay, this is ChatGPT 3.5, or this is ChatGPT 4, oh, interesting, or this is from some derivative. I can recognize it, I do not need the derivative. But then we'll have to actually work with students and explain. They would want to use them, and employer would want us to develop the skill. But how to do it? This is a good question. And not just how to do it. I was thinking of adding some AI stuff to my courses, and then I realized I will be getting all sorts of students. One is completely new to this stuff. One is more or less intermediate, one is advanced. And how I'm going to evaluate their work? And this is a huge issue for me. I do not know the answer right away.
Val, can I ask you a couple questions that are in the chat?
Mhm.
Specifically, do you have any thoughts on copyright issues with AI usage?
You mean big picture issues like they are sued by New York Times?
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is the entire idea of you. If you go through arguments prepared by OpenAI lawyers, they said this is happening all the time. When you get new people learning art, they learn about the art. They go to museums, they copy old masters, and they start creating something, and not necessarily new. And every time someone would say, okay, this is like not independent, this artist use ideas from there and there, but this is just art produced by this artist because we saw him or her painting. So, and that's why OpenAI is saying, okay, our models behave exactly the same way. It's not word by word. And I don't think that this lawsuits will go anywhere. So this is like big picture thing. The thing about authors, again, we had this copyright decisions that artificial intelligence cannot be considered author. So I think humanity will have to find the answer. I'm not very much like myself into this conversation. I think my place is to learn about it as quickly as I can. And
Absolutely.
let better people figure out what to do.
The legality of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then not to put you on the spot, but do you have specific groups in LinkedIn that you recommend for learning this sort of thing?
I do not remember how they're called. So the best way is you use search and you will find many groups. So try them one by one. Because the group I follow may be not the best group for you to follow.
Yeah.
But there are many, dozens, or maybe hundreds already.
Yeah.
Go there, use search, and you will find some.
All right.
And also another thing, there is AI in Facebook and LinkedIn. Once they detect your interest, you will see a lot of suggestions.
The algorithms will point you in the right
Algorithm
direction.
will drive you crazy after that. And also, I can share you one of my secrets. You open any search engine like Google or Chrome or whatever, and if you scroll down, you will see some windows. And these windows will be based information of what you were searching. You start searching for AI in particular field. 2 days after that, it will be filled by items for your interest.
Yeah, absolutely. Other questions for Val?
Just one more thing quick, just on that topic. I do have a Google Pixel phone, and I have noticed that when I Google things, it pulls up in my Google News feed, in the Google Now, and you swipe to the left. So it's actually running right now because I dropped my phone and picked it up. The Gemini is built right into the Google, just like Siri, into Android. Siloing. One thing I'm worried about with artificial intelligence is siloing. So I searched something for cybersecurity. I had an account that was exploited. So all I see now is cybersecurity news, and it feels like the whole world's getting hacked. With AI, do we have more potential, do you think, for siloing? It seems like everything I search for, it gets siloed into the information that's then available to me. And I've also heard that the internet is becoming a mess because of artificial intelligence chatbots are data bots are crawling and then reproducing content, and the entire internet itself is the infrastructure of the internet itself is being shaken up. Do you know, you must notice that siloing effect as well, just like how you were just talking about, you search within Google and the next thing you know, everything's up in Chrome. Do you think that we have more chance for siloing, people feeling more alone or more vetted into a certain type of content? I mean, the whole trajectory, everything's going to change. We can't even predict it. It's like, how do we even avoid that siloing?
I think humanity always finds a way how to screw things up. So maybe intentions are wonderful or just innocent, but you will see these players that will try to like take advantage of it. When I started building my GPTs, I was not very much surprised to learn that most popular GPTs are girlfriends. So people talk to them. And this is number one GPT use in the world. And I even do not want to talk about the deepfakes because there's so much convincing. So again, if I were in cybersecurity, I wouldn't be able to sleep thinking about this. So again, I'm just thinking about my development courses and new technologies, but we'll have to keep track of it. Oftentimes I send to my daughters links to some stuff saying, keep in mind with your kids, this is what's happening. Be aware.
It's so tough. It's almost invasive. It's like I don't want my kids on one hand to explore AI because it almost seems like it's invasive. It gathers the data and then forms the data that's available to you through your devices. It's using it appropriately, right? It's not being completely apprehensive and telling them not to use it, but to engage with it appropriately. Same thing with tablet time. Like I don't want my kids to miss out on technology, the engagement aspect, learning ABC mouse, things like that. But I also don't want them to be stuck on YouTube thinking they're going to be content creators. I'll stop grabbing your time here. I know somebody else has another question. I just love these conversations.
Thanks, man. That's great. Alexis?
Hi, thanks so much for the conversation. So I'm curious, just kind of comparing your experiences with course design. Sounds like you went through a very traditional kind of course build the first time around when you created your Coursera courses originally, and then a very AI driven by circumstance, kind of like with limited resources, limited time, redesign. Obviously there are advantages to each piece, but would you go, like, in your ideal world, what would the mix of those two strategies be moving forward? Would you ever go back to a fully the original version of course design? Are you convinced on the value of incorporating AI as part of the process?
Alexis, this is such a savior in terms of time and resources. So I'm all into AI-driven production. And regarding Coursera, I am in Empire State University, and our course development is completely different from Coursera. It just happened in my life that I joined Empire State University is kind of surprise to me. And I used to hate distance learning as idea. And then I realized myself like being full-time employed in the institution. And for myself, I needed to find this balance. And I was involved in international distance learning then, and I needed to explain to people from Europe how we do distance learning here, why it's different. And then at some point I realized, okay, this is actually Empire State College model education for adults mostly. And people who are busy on the work and they learn through traditional education, now they do not have time, but in online education, they learning things that they need at work, like with remote work. So you work independently, you have resources, you have your schedule, and you need to communicate with people online and have virtual meetings, and all the stuff you learn in courses. So that's why courses are important for at some point in life. So this is how I made like peace myself initially. And I learned about all the student-centered stuff that we develop with the idea that students will be active looking for stuff. And when I first time came to Coursera, I met people with completely different mentality. And because Coursera gave us some money, they said, you will be doing things as we tell you what to do. And we went through like military style training early in the morning. You come there at 7 o'clock in Palo Alto, and they will start teaching you how to do stuff their way. Short videos with all, before you start doing, say, tell, I'm going to do this. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, you do this, and then in the end, oh, got it. This is exactly what you got. And in the middle, 4 interruptions to make sure that you understand what you're doing. And this was completely different style of online education, mostly good maybe for traditional age students, so maybe like corporate training. And for this, I found automation. This is automation ready. This is automation ready. And every time I have a presentation in my college, they are asking me, do you think they will replace you very soon or maybe not tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow. And I still see some room for automation and some room for like human interaction. But it mostly depends on students, because for some students you need like face-to-face and not a robotic face, like real human face. But not for all, not every time. So maybe there will be a combination in the future or different stages. But at some point, like in movies about the future, you can have a hologram, and hologram will like tell you what you need and go through some steps. So I see a combination of both.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any other comments or questions? All right. Well, lots to think about, absolutely, certainly. Thank you all very much for your participation in today's webinar, and special thank you to our speaker for sharing today. That was fantastic. The full schedule of events happening this week, along with a link to register and view recordings, can be found at the link in the chat. Also, please complete the feedback survey to help us plan for future offerings. And we hope to see you at another Open Ed session this week. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.